welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Ama and Asantseba.
Yes. We are here again with our fourth episode. Wow. Like gradually we are making progress. We are gradually building up our episodes. And I'm really, really happy, really excited about this.
I think that people probably didn't think would last this long. I don't think people thought would. I don't think people thought would last this long. But you know what? We're proving people wrong. We're here. We're here when our fourth episode.
We're here to stay. So
Aren't
they
we?
might as well just, have it and deal with it. Like, okay, all right, this women are here to stay. You were going to be seeing us popping up on your search on your YouTube channel, popping in your the podcast on your iPhones and all that. So you would have to deal with that. But yeah,
we ain't going anywhere.
no, we're not. We're not. At least not anytime soon.
Okay.
All right. So
yeah. So do you want to hit us with today's topic, what we're discussing today?
Well, today's topic is quite interesting, actually. It's been it's been around for a long time, years, and it's still, on with marriages and everything that is going on, especially when it comes to, the women. They have to deal with that. The women in marriages have to deal with this topic or what we're about to discuss today. It's been like a problem, and usually you find the indoors also getting crazy about it. So lessness is actually to me is a crazy topic. It is really crazy in a sense that men are always not blamed. Yeah, they seem to be on the winning side, and women always get to the fall for it. And then we do not talk about it. We dare come out and say it's not our fault. We just have to keep quiet and swallow it. So with all the tokens, I guess some of you have been able to figure out what we're going to talk about. If not, we are going to hit on infertility in marriage and how best we can,
I think what the issue is, I find that this happens so many times around the world. It's not just a Ghanaian thing. It's not just the Ghanaian culture. It happens everywhere, whether it be you're in London, because I've heard so many stories about this in London, whether it be you're in London, you're in New York, you're in South Africa, you're in Ghana, Kenya, wherever you are, I'm sure that, you'll be able to find somebody you can relate this topic with. And the issue is that I find that society generally points fingers when it comes to infertility at women. It's like we're programmed to automatically think when we know that a couple are having a difficult time conceiving. It's almost as if our brain, I can't talk there. Our brain automatically, thinks, the woman must be the one having the issue, when that is not necessarily the case. I mean, with a lot more education in recent years, we know that also men have those kind of issues, and I feel like unless you're, you got some sort of relationship with a couple or the couple are very open and discuss this and the man doesn't mind coming forward, automatically people outside that relationship or outside that friend zone are going to be thinking, okay, there's something wrong with the woman. And that's not fair. And that is not necessarily the truth. I know that in the Ghanaian culture, and I'm going to specifically speak about the Ghanaian culture because obviously that's what we're more familiar with. With the Ghanaian culture, it's like almost as if like all hell breaks loose on the woman. You get the in-laws having, their 2 pesos worth of say in this. You get a lot of social. No, it's true. You get a lot of that social pressure on the woman. So the question is, how do we deal with it when is the man? When is the man going through the issue? Is it the same thing they have to face and what they have to deal with? And I know that you've got a very interesting story for us of somebody that's spoken with you about their situation. So, I'm not sure that we can advise, but we're just both gonna try and keep it real here. And the thing is not for me. I feel like it's a topic that shouldn't be shied away from. I feel like everybody needs to understand. It's not, it's not a disease. It's not something that people should beat someone, over the head with a stick with. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I feel like it's something that needs to be dealt with compassionately, right? And most of the time, anyway, I feel like too many people get involved in people's business. I feel like half the time it's no one's business. No, seriously. I feel like half the time it's no one's business. When a couple gets married, 101 times, they ask questions. Oh, so when are you having children? When are you having children? And I feel
Okay, so
like, dude,
I think it's like this because of our society, our
yeah,
I would say the requirement in a society that makes you a woman, or that authentication. That is the problem.
right,
That's the genesis of all these questions you get in marriages. So for you to be fulfilled and respected as a woman, society expects that, okay, at a certain age, you're done with school. It's like we are being programmed. Okay, so by default,
right,
women are
okay,
supposed to be or attain certain things in life. It's like we have an expiry date, sort of. And these things do not apply to men. So that is why we tend to have these challenges as women, because
mm,
you're living in a particular community, and then the grown people in there expect that, oh, Asantseba is this age by now, she should be done with school. By now, okay, she's done with school, she should be working. Or you know what? They don't even worry much about working. It's our generation that we are forceful. We want to work, we want to support our partners, or we want to work and support ourselves. But even
right,
to our parents, when I say 80s, 70s, all those within the age bracket, they have a saying, I'm sure you know, and I'm sure everyone knows about this, that a woman's office is a kitchen. So they were actually this question when they many a times many a times when they find a woman going to school, having a PhD, having this, they tend to ask this question. So after all this, what are you going to use all this for? You're going to come back home and cook for your husband. So bottom line is, finish school, get a little bit of education, something that you can manage yourself with. If you're going to work, if it's left with our parents, we don't need office work. We'll probably be selling, go to
yeah,
the
but I'm
market
a
and
bit,
sell, like as
yeah, but
they
I'm a
did,
bit, yeah, but I'm a bit
do all
confused.
that, come
Yeah,
back
but
home, raise kids, take care of your husband.
yeah, but Asantseba,
Yeah,
I'm a bit confused about this. So, okay, we're saying that it's a generational thing, right? We're saying that
yeah,
it's a generational thing is because their parents are, um, in a different generation and they have different expectations. But
yeah.
my question is, how is that expectation? How does that come into the scenario? The scenario being of, okay, why is it that if there's a fertility issue, automatically the woman is the one people point fingers at? Why?
Because
I don't understand.
procreation
That's something I
is
can't. My mind is blown.
when this topic came up, and obviously we had somebody coming in with that for us to discuss. I was actually laughing throughout the whole time in my head, because I'm like, I'm laughing not because it's funny, but because we can never get to the bottom of this. There's no way we will find a solution to this. Women are going to be continued, especially in our Ghanaian culture, because that is as far as we know, our Ghanaian culture. Men, I have never heard of a man willingly coming out and accepting that, you know what, it's my fault that we can have babies. So leave this woman out of this. They would rather have their women or their wives take the fall, and then in the room they will sort of do the damage control to their wives. Or comparing that to, speaking of what we had from one of our listeners, saying that she was married to this man for almost a year or two, and apparently this man was, infertile, and knew about it, and yet they went ahead and got married. A year and a half down to the marriage, or a year into the marriage, they were not having babies. So she then decides to, be worried about it, because they're doing everything possible. She's doing everything possible, so they will have babies, but it's not even happening. She talks about going to the
Wait, wait,
hospital and
wait,
all
wait.
that.
So the guy didn't tell them that
No,
he.
no, she had to find out herself. Amma, that's the
So
terrible
this is
part.
different level of deception. So wait, hold on. Do they both discuss like having kids prior to getting married, that we both want kids?
Obviously, when you're getting married, you talk about kids, you come up with names, and you talk about age gaps and all the beautiful things that comes with family and children and being married. You know that. That's the norm. Obviously, when you get married, you talk about that. And he was all happy and, so much involved in it. you not even think for a second that, okay, this man would have this low sperm count or infertile. It wouldn't even cross your mind that this is the problem, that this man has a problem, because he is the one being pushy. Let me just use the word. He is the one pushing to have a baby. He wants the baby. So it's kind of a bit confusing. And the long and short of all everything, I mean, we're going to get into it and discuss it. But at the end of the day, he knew it, that this was his problem, and decided not to say it. And rather had the in-laws and other people around thinking it's a woman's fault that it can't have babies. Meanwhile, it's his fault, and he knew it. It's a
I
whole different
mean,
level of crazy in our generation. I mean, a lot is happening, and like you said, this is not something shameful. I mean, there's medications, there's all sort of treatment going on for it, but men are just not coming out to just claim it.
but the
I don't
reason
know
why
what the problem is, but
but the reason why my mind is just so blown about this specific topic is the fact that the guy was deceptive. You know, there's nothing wrong
yeah,
if you can't conceive. As long as, no, it's true. As long as you come out and tell the woman that, listen, honey, this is the situation. You can both, I mean, if you still love each other, you still want to make it work, you can find a way around it. You know,
yeah,
thank God, there's like countless opportunities, you know, which allow couples to explore other means of having a baby, which is
hmm,
perfect. But to go into that relationship and be so deceptive, you're so deceptive. Like, why would you just keep that away from her? So, what else are you keeping away from her? That's what just blows my mind. Just makes me think, what? That is crazy. You just okay. So, what does the lady do? My question is, okay. So, the lady, first of all, how did she find out? How did she find out? Because she
okay.
didn't know.
So per our conversation, she had to find out the hard way. So getting to I think a year into the marriage or halfway through, the man took ill, and then
Right.
I
Okay.
mean, was admitted at the hospital and all that. The woman was quite, curious to find out, because I mean, obviously the man she wasn't the man's first. Yeah, so
Okay.
definitely, you've been around, you've done things, and I mean, if you are fertile, you would know. I'm sure men know when they know these things. They know how it happens, and most men lately, underground or behind closed doors, go to doctors, go to hospitals to check, just so they know what is going on with them. So she decided to, have a doctor do a random check without the man's knowledge, because you know what? She said,
Boy,
she's worried
hold on.
that.
We're not condoning anything. We're not. Wait. We're not condoning this, listeners. We're not saying like this is something I'm not gonna
We're
lie.
not
This is
saying this
something
is the
probably
right
I
thing
would
to
do.
do. I know.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably something I would do. But
It's something you would do. You
okay,
don't see it, but yeah, this is something,
I'm gonna
you know,
play devil's advocate here and say
yeah,
to our
yeah.
listeners, we don't condone it. Each to
Hmm.
their own. But I'm not even gonna lie. If it was me, I probably would be doing some underground investigation. Because I'm
Checks.
like, hold on, dude.
Yeah,
We've been together for like 2 years, 3 years. We're trying for a baby. It's not happening. What's going on? I know I'm okay.
yeah.
So let's jump.
What
But
is
hold on.
going on with you? Exactly.
Yeah. And also, can I just like ask a question here? So the man's parents, the lady's in-laws,
Yeah,
what were their reaction
yeah.
towards her? Like, I mean, they were thinking that she was the reason why they're not going to be able to have grandchildren, right?
Exactly.
So he
Yeah.
wasn't even honest with his own parents about the fact that he
So
couldn't.
that is the whole situation I'm on. That's what I'm saying. That the hard breaking situation in this is that he literally watched the wife go through all this. I wouldn't call it stress or drama, because according to her, she was able to handle it in her own way, not pay attention to it and all that. But I mean, we are human. As much as she would try, or she tried all means possible
Yeah.
not to pay attention to it, it got to her at some point, like, okay, it makes you, like, it made her kind of question herself, or what's going on, what's happening with me, am I okay, is everything okay with me, and all that, not knowing that she has zero problem. There was absolutely nothing wrong with her. Her reproductive organs are intact. Her system is perfect. The problem was with the man, and kept quiet about it, and it made it look as if, he was okay. The problem was with the woman. And now every time there's an issue, he tries to bring it up. We want to have babies. We can't have babies and all that. So, it was kind of, she said, Asantseba, what made it so, shocking is how he handled it. Is how he would wake up every time, every now and then, dropping discussions about babies and make it look like I am not doing anything. I said, as in, she is not doing anything. She is not even ready to have babies. Meanwhile, he knew that the problem, or whatever the problem was, or whatever's going on, is from him. So
I don't really
that
like
is
this guy.
a
I feel
different
like
level of
he's a bit
crazy.
too snaky. I don't even understand if there's any kind of love in this, because that's just being snaky. So you've got the issue. You're not coming. No, it's true, because this is hard work. So okay, you've got this issue, which is fine. You could have come out, told your wife, you guys would have stayed together, been happy, found ways around it. But no, you kept it to yourself. So she married you under false pretenses. That's number one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is you get into the marriage. She's, stressing and worried that, okay, we've been trying for a number of years. Things are not happening. What's going on? You know what's going on. And you're still keeping quiet. I don't get that.
Yep.
So you're watching her go through all this stress, this abuse from your parents and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
No, this can't be love. This guy's just snaky. I feel like he's just snaky.
Well,
He's snaky.
and to
He's
even make
snaky.
matters worse, when finally she actually, after everything, when she found out and told him that, dude, this is what I found out. I found out that you cannot have a baby. This is what the situation is. So he got upset, very much upset about it, and said the lady has breached his privacy, and she had.
That's true. That is true. I'm not even gonna lie. Even though something probably would do, but that is
To
so
me,
true.
it is true. I mean, literally, it's true. But what if she didn't do this? How on earth was she going to find out all this? How was she even going to know? I mean, I would do the same thing just to satisfy my curiosity. I would do the same thing just to make sure it's self satisfaction. I would do it just to make sure that, okay, all right, with everything you're saying, with everything that is going on, it is not my fault. Okay, like, you're blaming me, your mother's blaming me. I mean, your parents are literally blaming me. And then all this while, the problem is with their son, not even with me. And guess what? Your son knows that he can't have babies, but he keeps quiet over it. How amazing! I mean, how amazing is that? I think that's the most amazing thing ever.
Oh,
Like, living with a man who knows that, I can't have babies, but I'm gonna keep quiet and stay with you as my wife, and watch you go through the stress every day. This is like hell, like hell on earth,
no, but
I
that's
would
what I'm
say.
trying to say, that this can't even be. This cannot even be love. I'm sorry. I am married. This is not love. Like, this is some snaky dude. He probably just wanted to get off the market and get married, and just to satisfy probably his parents, who
Exactly,
were probably going on at him that
exactly.
you need to get married. Because if someone really loves somebody, you just would not even risk that kind of thing. You would not even risk anything like this to jeopardize your relationship, just in case, you know, the truth came out. You just wouldn't go that far. Okay, so go on.
Yeah.
So what else happens?
So back and forth with all this, the lady was like, you know what? By the way, when you were not feeling well at the hospital, I had a doctor run this day. Oh my goodness. So she said she wishes that we could have seen the reaction at the hospital. Like, this gentleman was fuming, wanted to sue her
Wow.
to start with. That was the first thing he said. And the lady was like, "We wanted to." How can you possibly sue me for your crime, for your offense? Like, I have lived under the same roof with you, have
No,
suffered
to be
this,
honest,
and
you
then
probably could sue her. he probably
The
couldn't
first
sue
thing that
her,
comes
but
out of your mouth is, I'm going to sue you. This is breach of privacy. What? But is this
not
gentleman
even like,
okay? Like mentally, I mean, no offense. I'm sorry, but I am here thinking, okay, all right, okay, is your husband okay? I mean, okay for thinking about suing you. How about all the times, all the years, or whatever years or months you spent together going through that mental torture every single time, as if it's your fault.
do you know what? I don't think the guy is okay. He can't be okay because after all of
This
this,
becomes
the first thing
okay.
you say, I want to sue you. Not even like, baby, I'm sorry, or let's talk
No,
about
I'm gonna sue you. I am going to sue you for,
Wow.
oh
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
for
Wow.
breach of privacy. You should have sought my consent. But I shall see. I have been trying. Like she said, I have been talking about this. I have been on you. Let's go to the hospital. Let's go even run some tests because I have done my test and there's nothing wrong with me. So you let's go. Let's go and see what's wrong with you. Let's go see if everything's okay with you. And you come up, no, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. No, there's nothing wrong with me. But here we are. There's everything wrong with you. Absolutely, like the adult way,
Wow.
everything's wrong with you. So you see, that's why I say that it all comes back to this, Ama. Like in our Ghanaian culture or in this society that we live in, men are the heroes. Men are the head of the families.
They
Everything
could
is
do no
men in
wrong.
the family. Men, they can never go wrong. How dare you say this man is infertile? How is that even possible? And they always mistake this. This is like this is the thing I want to say. I mean, because we promised you unfiltered, just because you are able to engage a woman sexually and you are able to, ejaculate and all that, doesn't necessarily make you fertile. So this is what I need men that who are listening to get it straight. You need to be going to the hospital. You need to have a checkup. You need to make sure you actually seen a doctor for this. Make sure whatever that you're producing can make babies. Because you
Yeah.
could be ejaculating all right, but it won't be strong enough to have babies. So then you go about getting married, and then you in your mind, you're fine, you're this. So you pay less attention when there are no babies, and you think it's the women's fault, but rather it's your fault. It's one hello. I'm sure that a lot of people in marriages going through the same issues over and over and over again, crying every night, going to all forms of churches, taking different kind of concoctions. The women struggle. It's so funny, yeah. The things they drink. The funny thing is that apparently the lady's mother said she knew one prayer warrior, and the prayer warrior could make her some concoction that could help her in getting pregnant. So now I'm
Who, the
sitting here, I'm
lady's
like,
mother
yeah, the
or
lady's
the
mother. Because
guy?
then she was
Oh,
worried. She was
right.
like,
Okay.
okay, this is funny. This is kind of crazy. This is going on, you're not able to have a child. Okay, I know this prayer warrior who can help you. Let's go see this and that. And I'm thinking, okay, according to her, she didn't go because she just didn't want to go. She just didn't feel it right to go. So
Yeah.
imagine she went. So what was she going to drink and for what?
You know what? You know what?
And was this
I
prayer warrior? I am not going
I
against any church. I am not saying prayer is not good. But obviously, I mean, in this situation, this prayer warrior is going to give a concoction for no reason, for nothing. So, yeah, women, we should be careful, yeah, what we're going for and what we do in our daily lives. It could go a long way to haunt us, like it will come back in our face.
But
Yeah.
do you know what the
Like,
problem is, Asantseba? The problem for me is that, I feel that in the, like I said, the Ghanaian culture, I'm sure it happens in many, many cultures. And,
yeah.
many of our listeners from different cultures that are listening probably could identify with this. I feel like in a Ghanaian marriage, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes there's just too many people involved. I just
Yeah.
feel like there's just too many people involved. I feel that people, because there's so many people involved and so many expectations, I feel like people become ashamed to come forward. And like I said, it's nothing to be ashamed about because it's no one's fault.
Well, if you can't have a baby in Ghana, because we're speaking about our Ghanaian culture and whatever goes in here, let me tell you something funny. Women are even ashamed to come up with it themselves, because if I should go tell a female friend, or if a doctor should come up and say Asantseba cannot have babies, the automatic thing that comes up is she had an abortion when she was young. So automatically you've killed your babies. So when you can have babies.
Oh, so is that, wait, hold on. So is that the one thing that comes to their mind when when a woman can't
If I can
conceive?
have babies, I feel ashamed about it, because I know, okay, I haven't done these things, but to the outside world, if you have any fight, trust me, in our culture, the moment you fight with another woman who has babies, you're dead. The first insult that comes in is have your own children and stop. It's like an automatic, it's like a reflex, it's like a default. It will just pop in your face, like they will just use it against you. So this infertility thing, like we're discussing, and it's like we're kind of taken out of everything. It's one crazy situation here in Ghana. It's really, women go at far and near for this. I don't know recently if you heard on the news that this woman couldn't have babies, and she told her husband now she's 3 months pregnant. So what she needs to do is to travel, and then she tasked her friend to buy a baby off the market for her from the hospital. So by the time she comes back, there'll be a baby. Unfortunately for her, the woman who got pregnant and was ready to sell her baby had friends around who were also monitoring, because they realized how she was handling the baby and all that. They knew this woman wants to sell the baby. Like everything shows that she wants to do that. So they were monitoring her. The day the transaction was going to take place, they went and reported her to the police that they've seen these kind of things and they feel like this is what she wants to do. So they are not too sure. The police came around, and lo and behold, there was going to be a transaction. They arrested them. Do you know the amazing part of the story? The amazing part of the story is that the husband knew that he could not have babies. So you, the woman that you're going to bring the baby, who are you coming to deceive? Yourself or your husband? You see? And she thinks that she's the problem. Yeah, in her mind, she is the problem. So she's going to find a baby to resolve the problem, not knowing the husband is the problem. That is why he's not giving her any pressure in no form. So this infertility thing is just too crazy. It sounds so simple. When I heard it, I was like, what? I've heard too many stories, but this is crazy. So you're going to bring a baby and tell your husband that he's impregnated you, whereas your husband knows very well that I cannot impregnate a woman. So whose baby is this at the end of the day? Like, it is crazy. It is really a lot of stories around when you talk to women and all these people. I mean, people are buying children, which is no news again. People are getting pregnant, they are selling them. A bunch of women are just going through a lot, like spiritually, physically, a whole lot of drama just to have a baby. I mean, I don't know. Just as how God did not create all of us to be equal, I have a strong feeling that childbirth is not for everyone. Like you said, I don't think it's for everyone. So yeah, I wish women could stop, stressing about this, and I wish men, my married couples, could find a level ground and talk it through, and rather not allow, like you're saying, once you're married, the whole family comes in. So now I've realized that young people who want to get married, do you know the strategy now? They want to impregnate the woman first. They want to have babies first. Then they consider marriage.
Oh, that's
Because they
just
have a
shallow,
feeling
isn't it? That's
once
just
they marry.
shallow.
Oh, but to be very fair, it's like once they marry, there's a lot of eyes and attention and everything waiting for them to get pregnant. That's why the pregnancy won't come. The pressure alone will not allow you to get pregnant.
Okay.
I mean,
So
if you know what I'm talking about,
they wanna
understand me by the pressure. The pressure alone will not let you get
they wanna
pregnant.
get it in the bag before.
So get pregnant, 2 months or 3 months pregnant. They will perform the traditional rite thing and have the whole white wedding done. So majority of the people, the young women who are rushing to get, no, not rushing, I take it back. Majority of the women who are getting married, suddenly they're not planned or what, is out of pregnancy. they do not want to get married, now go through the pressure of parents and friends asking. Like my friend Ajwa got married and had friends literally messaging her and asking, has the baby arrived? Hey!
Wow. It's like, as a baby, all right.
She wasn't even
Why?
pregnant. Come on. She wasn't even pregnant.
Have you bought me a baby? Have you gifted me a baby? Like,
I'm telling you, it's a joke. It's a serious deal. Okay, so
yeah, no,
Amma got pregnant.
my mind is just blown at this.
Amma got married this month. It's been a year now. There's no baby. What's happening? And they'll start messaging you.
But
It's like somebody is sitting down with a record, like a book, marking registry, like okay, Amma got married, it's a year now. Hey, there's no baby. Let's go check on her. Amma, are you okay? when are we expecting the baby?
but okay, but what I don't understand is why are these people so invested in someone having a baby? Like, I don't understand. They're gonna be the ones to
Okay,
look after
like
the
you are
child, to
married.
feed it. I don't
What are you waiting
understand. Like, why are they so invested?
in our culture? You are married.
Yeah,
What are
but
you
it's
waiting?
not their business.
Oh, wait till
It's
somebody gets
crazy.
married and then they ask the question. You tell the person it's not your business. It's your business. So you invited them to the marriage ceremony, didn't you invite them? You invited them. So it is hilarious. It is, Emma. It's a whole different thing altogether in our society. It's not even funny. It's not even a joke. Like
It's
it's so
wild.
crazy. People cannot get married and enjoy. I know people
No,
who get married
I
and
mean,
want to enjoy 5 years or 2 or 3 years without babies just to have fun before they settle to have babies. Now,
yeah,
the whole drama is they're infertile. The woman cannot have babies. They won't even take their time to investigate or to ask questions. They'll just conclude on you. Oh, for all you know, this
yeah,
woman cannot even have babies. That is why the husband is doing this. Or some of the cultures or the tribe, the mother of the man will start talking to him. Are you sure you don't want to take another wife? We can take another wife and we can try. Or they'll even be encouraging their son to have a side relationship to test if he can have a baby there. Share. You're here opening your eyes. You have no idea what is going on in our culture. It's crazy.
wow.
It is very
It's just
crazy.
wild. It's absolutely wild.
It is wild.
It's
A lot is
absolutely
happening.
wild. I mean, since I've been here, um, goodness me, I've been here 6 months. This lockdown thing, this coronavirus thing. Anyway, since I've been here,
Yeah.
the amount of stories and things I have heard is just, it blows my mind. I mean, when I was back in London, obviously I'd hear stories going around, but
Yeah.
and I know, you know what, and I know it's an issue because I've got Asian friends as well, and I know there's an issue that they deal with. The pressure of
Yeah.
as soon as you get married, as soon as that ring goes on your finger, like when is the baby gonna come along? So
Hmm.
it's not something that I think the Ghanaian people deals with. I think it's a universal issue, and I feel that for me, what makes it so unfair is that I feel like the women are targeted in this. Asantseba, the way I see it is that it takes two to tango. Do you know what I mean? So for me,
Yeah.
if something isn't happening here, then obviously both of them will have to go and get checked out. But I don't know if it's like a male ego thing. I feel like it's to do with the male ego that some men don't even want to contemplate that the issue could be with them. It's like they're
Yeah.
scared of the
Yeah.
stigma, like the social stigma that they'll get with it. And I feel that, yeah, okay, I can understand that. I can understand from that perspective that, society doesn't make it easier. Socially and culturally, it doesn't make it easier for the men to come out. But what they need to understand is there is no shame in that. And actually coming out, will help both you and your lady move forward in finding a way, even medically, to get some
Hmm.
sort of help to conceive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
can't
I
you
agree.
can't keep quiet about this, and I think it's deeply unfair that the woman always takes the fall for it.
Like you're saying, if only the men will be able to come out, to put their egos aside, put their shyness aside, and then come forward and then accept that they have problems, then we can assist them. Or I mean, medically they can be helped. But so long as they are still living under the whole umbrella, like okay, they are men, they can't have issues. Like I said, just because you're able to have an erection and be able to ejaculate doesn't necessarily makes you um, fertile or push you in that category of being able to have kids. So you need to get it tested.
Mhm.
I would wish that it would be part of, some churches have their procedures before you get married. You have to get a lot of tests done. I'm just wishing that it could be added to the list of tests that you can run before you get married, or if people can add that
Mhm.
rather than going crazy about sexually transmitted diseases and that, which is important, they might as well add this fertility test to it to check men if they're low sperm count, whatever. There are medicines for it, there are
But
treatments for
hold
it.
on.
Yes.
Do you not
Why are
think
you
though, if
laughing?
people no, but hold on. No, the reason I'm laughing is right. Do you not think if we're saying this, we're going to create a whole new issue? So if people get tested, say the men have like a sperm count, right? And then the woman have
Yeah.
a test prior to getting married, then no one will get married in Ghana.
Oh,
Or no
Amma,
one will get
you're
married in the
saying this?
world because people will be like,
No,
oh, okay, if the husband comes back and he's got a low
no.
sperm count,
To resolve it rather than getting into it like what our how do you call it, one of our listeners, I mean, what she brought on. So if only they had done those tests, they wouldn't have to go through the whole torture of having to wait for the husband to be admitted at the hospital before secretly conducting that test. That's a whole stress, a whole level of stress, a whole lot of frustrations for all this while. So I strongly believe that these test should be added as a prerequisition before marriage. You should do this. Like you have to do it. It's a necessity, it's a requirement. You need to go through it before, just like the way they test for blood types to avoid having sickle cells and having to give birth sicklers and all that. Why are you doing that? Because it's important. You don't want to bring kids into the world and for them to go through all the stress. So it's the same thing. Let's see if we are fertile before we settle. We don't have to settle and then now know that, okay, one of us cannot have a baby. And automatically, if it's the man, then
but
I,
isn't
the
it a bit
woman,
harsh
cannot come
though?
out and
So what
say.
happens?
To me, it's not harsh. I mean, we are growing, right? We are
Okay, so
learning, right? It's the world is developing.
okay, so what
So we
happens?
should be able
All
to
right,
do
so
that.
listen, calm it down here. Let me just ask this question. So in your world, right? Ideally, you think it's
Mm-hmm.
best for these tests to be done before you even get
Yes.
serious
And
with the
oh, that
person.
would also have to deal with people having kids and then at the end of the day they realize that's not even theirs. You heard of those stories, right? Where men at the
Oh yeah, no,
long
I have
term
heard
go to
those
do paternity
stories.
tests.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to say names, but the recent one that was blowing in Ghana was crazy. They found out that okay, this popular footballer turned out that okay, all right, the babies that he's had all these years with this woman that calls a wife are not even his. All these three kids are not even his. So to me, I think it's very important we go through that. You have that done, then we know who is getting the treatment. We save ourselves all the drama and the stress in marriage. You see?
Oh, you're pretty deep on this one. You know, so no one's changing
Hmm.
your mind. This is what you believe.
You should. You should see your fertility and then test it out. See the men with low sperm count. I'm saying men because low sperm count is not an abomination. It's not a spiritual thing, I believe. It's not something
Yeah,
disgraceful or embarrassing. I mean, your activities
it's
growing
not a
up, the things you
disease.
might
It's
have
not. Yeah,
done
yeah.
exactly might have contributed to those things or heredity or something. Go to the
But
hospital.
but do you know the weird thing is? But you know the weird
Tell
thing
me.
about the low sperm count as well. I read an article
Tell
a few
me.
years ago in London about it. That even the smallest thing that we do can affect low sperm count. So, for instance, if a man is having a laptop, right, and you know he places
Mm-hmm.
the laptop on his lap for a very long time,
It
right, the
freezes
heat
the
apparently
mindfold,
from the
right?
laptop and things like that apparently it affects your
Yeah.
sperm count.
Mention it when you're having chemistry and then biology, whatever it is. They mention it in school.
Right.
The vibrations and all, they mention it. So I get really surprised when we are all grown. We seem to forget the basic things we were taught in school. And now it becomes a huge thing. Oh, trust me, if you should tell a man that you have low sperm count, they will go crazy because they believe they are men. We have nurtured them in a way that, or I'm saying we because women, mothers, or we have nurtured men in a way that they see themselves as the kings of the family, of the world, which is fine. You are. That's in your nature. So if we are telling you the truth that you know what, you have an issue with your sperm, don't go like me. No. See, they will go up and high, like low, whatever, to just tell you that it's not them. Oh no, me, no, share. Do you know I'm able to do this? And do you know I'm able to and the fact that they can see their penis in front of them is able to erect. They think that is the end of it with them. So long as they get an erection, they get an ejaculation, you cannot tell them they have low sperm count. But dude, get tested. So that's what I'm saying. They should add it to all this Emma. It's very necessary, yeah. If I am a marriage counselor and I have people coming to me, I would tell them,
very
go and get
necessary.
tested.
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate here. So in your world, they get tested, and okay, just so that we can go in line with today's topic, is the man that has the low sperm count. So what do you expect the woman to do in this rate? Does the woman say, I don't want to get married to you because, dude, I'm looking to have a family? Or do they both work on it?
No, they should work on it. You see, marriage to me is not about having children. Yes, it's an amazing gift. You can have it. It's beautiful. Children are just like amazing. Like I love my nephew so much. Lois, like, and then some people get married and they can have kids, but they choose not to have kids because they just want to enjoy each other's company and just be in love with each other. They can't have kids because they see themselves as So look at it both ways. If I'm going to get married to somebody today and we happen to run these tests, and whether he has low sperm count or there's a problem with my ovaries, whatever it is, we can work it out. If we are ready and we really want to be together in this marriage, we'll work it out. It's a teamwork. Marriage is not for one person. It's a teamwork. Unless the man is for want of a better word, not well educated or not well exposed, and does not know that this could be treated, okay, then it becomes a problem. Okay, so first of all, education needs to be established. We need to educate people. I mean, doctors and those in that institution, that side of the world, that is their job. They need to create like serious awareness to people, okay, for them to know that, hey, if your wife is not able to have kids, it's not an abomination. It's not a bad thing.
But also, Asantseba, do you know what it is? I feel that it is as well. I thought it's society. Society and culture has made marriage all about children. Does that make sense? So it's
very
like,
much.
I feel like if you don't, to me, I feel that the only way the society and the culture allows it is if you get married, then you only get married because you want to reproduce and have children. So people lose the fact that marriage is about love. Marriage is about two people coming together, building something. Building a relationship, they forget all about that aspect of it. To them, it's like, boom, we get married, bang, bang, we have children, that's it. Like our life is complete. We've done everything we need, but it's not. That's what, that's what I struggle with. I feel that society and culturally, they've made it all about you only get married to reproduce. You don't get married for anything else. And I think that's wrong. Like we sort of lose the sort of romantic side of marriage. That marriage, the beauty of marriage for me is the fact that two people fall and come together and make it work.
I agree.
Our society and our culture have made having children, the foremost of everything, that we forget as to why the two people have come together in the first place. When we start courting that person, like people start asking 101 questions. So when you guys get married, when you're having children, and I feel like, hold on, slow down a bit. Do you not, let these people enjoy their time before, if they want to have children, it's up to them. But yeah, so I guess, it's up to our listeners. Listeners, if you agree with what Asantseba is saying, let us know. Drop us a DM, send us an email, send us a WhatsApp. Do you agree with what Asantseba is saying? Asantseba is saying that before you get married, you should get tested. Men should get tested for low sperm count, and the women should get tested to see if they can carry a child, right?
Yes, before you get into it. But hold on. I am not saying when you find out that they can't have babies or they have low sperm count, leave them. No. Yeah, you already profess or proclaim your love for them. So stick to the whatever
Yeah.
that made you love them, stick to it and use that as
Yeah, absolutely.
the foundation to help yourselves to sort out the problems. Anyway, so I guess it's gonna be a wrap for us. I mean, with what we've been able to share so far.
Yep. Until next week, Asantseba. Listeners, thank you for listening and taking time out. Don't forget to, follow us on Instagram at
Mhm.
ama.asantseba. We're also on Facebook, on Twitter. Leave us a comment, follow us, get involved. Yeah. So until next time, keep safe.
And
All right.
bye.
Bye.